What's up everybody? In today's video, Wilson and myself are going to be doing a Pokemon X and Y Randomize Nuzlocke in Pixelmon. Thanks to the map creator, by the way. His map link will be in the description. If you guys want to see more videos like this and enjoy the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a like on the video. Now, on to the rules. The rules are simple. We have to catch the first Pokemon we see on every route. If a Pokemon faints, it's dead forever. We have to name our Pokemon. Every gift Pokemon we receive isn't randomized, so we'll have to wonder trade them, with the exception of the Mega Evolution Pokemon and the Lapras. Anyways, with all that out of the way, I want to know what your favorite generation of Pokemon is. Now, let's go right into the video. We started off by waking up in our bedroom and heading downstairs to say hi to our mum. After telling her our dreams, we went outside to meet our neighbours, Shauna and Serena. They told us to go meet them at a cafe in the next town. When we got there were also two more lads named Tiano and Trevor. But the more important thing is, we would get there to choose our starter Pokemon. We had to share our starter choices, but luckily Wilson and I had different choices as our starters, as I wanted Kingler and Wilson wanted Timber. After acquiring our starters, we headed back home and Mum gave us a map of Kalos so we knew where to go. She also let her two sons, technically in this game at the age of 10, leave home. That's very responsible. Anyways, we skipped by Shauna, so when we did end up battling her, we both lost, but we didn't have Pokeballs yet, so the challenge hadn't started. So we just sort of ran away and healed our Pokemon. This is a good time to explain how we do our encounters. Because we can see the wild Pokemon, what we do is we close our eyes and let the other person guide us into the grass. And when we're there, we finally open our eyes whenever we want to. The first one we see, we have to encounter. My first encounter was a Bellsprout, and my second was a Tyrantrum. I ended up catching both Bellsprout and Tyrantrum pretty easily. After leveling our Pokemon, we headed into the forest. As you can see, I just ran in a straight line and stopped, and when I opened my eyes, the Mantine was the closest Pokemon to me, so I ended up capturing it. I was actually pretty happy with the Mantine as it had good moveset. It was just unfortunate that my second encounter, it ended up being a Plusle, so we'll have to move on from that. I soon realised that I hadn't actually named any of my Pokemon yet, so I now had Kingler, Mr. Krabs, Rooty the Bellsprout, Jeweler the Tyrantrum, Silly the Mantine, and Charge the Plusle. I then soon lost Silly. I left Silly in against a Pikachu, which is quite effective against my water flying type. I then also kind of lost Charge on the way out because it was poisoned. It's okay though. On the next route, I ended up catching Mudkip, who I ended up forgetting to name. I'd also failed to capture Sadakazam because it was about to kill all of my team. Anyways, the level cap for the next gym was only level 12, but to be honest, it was really easy. Mudkip had Rock Throw, and I just swept Violet's team. But with this, it means that we have the first gym badge. We had beaten it with no deaths. Violet's sister then gave us an X-Peel. I then went ahead and caught a Sharpedo on the next route, not after finally naming Mudkip Pineapple. I then got a Floette in the Wonder Trade, and I named it AZ. I then met these two people who said they were the professor's assistants. After I to Luna City, the power was out, so I had to go to the professor's lab. Once there, I had to challenge the professor to a battle. So after beating him, he gave us a choice of the Kanto starters. I chose Charmander, but as you said, this had to be Wonder Traded. So after the gang left, Wilson and I did our Wonder Trades, and I got a Lombre. We then met this man called Lysander downstairs, but he didn't really seem that important. Then we went to the cafe, and this Lysander guy was there again. We were talking to the champion? Who even is he? Anyways, Wilson and I wanted to continue, and we wanted to get a new encounter, but not before running into one of the gym leaders in Kalos, and her two Lucarios. Anyways, on this route, I ended up catching myself a Gasly, also then named my Lombre Samba, not before Tiano interrupted me and told me he wanted to battle on the next route, so I was really pumped for the battle. Until a Gengar decided to perish song. And then Mean Look, my Tyrantrum. I had no way to kill it or escape in time. This death hurt. What a harsh way to go and lose Jeweler. Anyways, after this we had to meet up with Tiano and I beat him quite easily. And after this my Mudkip started to evolve, which meant I finally had a Marshtomp. I then ran into a trainer with a Kadabra, but I had no defensive coverage. I had to hope on Mr. Krabs to win, but it just was too strong. I lost my starter. It was painful, and my first starter Pokemon gone way too early. Do I even carry on? What's the point? My team has no big hitters. Wait a minute, there's only a Kingler. Oh yeah, where's Samba gone? Oh, right. So I added Ghastly to my team, and I named it Spectral. We then met up with Shauna and learned about the castle history, and where there was something happening. Anyway, so there was two encounters outside the castle, so I got a Butterfree and a Hoppip. We then went to the castle and got the HM for Cut. We then helped find the lost Furfrou, which belongs to the castle owner, and afterwards we watched a firework display they had for us for finding the Furfrou. They then also gave us a Pokéflute, which which meant we could wake up a sleeping Snorlax, which was blocking our path. We then ended up beating the Snorlax pretty easily, and it cleared the path for us. After this, we had our encounters, and I ended up catching my champ. I then had to name my Pokemon, so I named my Butterfree.
Bye bye, Butterfree!
And I also named my Machamp. We then battled Tiano and Trevor in a double battle with Serena, and we won easily. I don't think these guys like winning, or they just love losing. After the battle though, we had more encounters. First was a Cloyster, which I failed at. But then we had a Hatton, which I also failed at. Okay, I at least got Jinx on the next route, but that could have definitely gone a lot better. I then met with Serena just outside of Ambret Town, and she wanted us to go to the fossil lab. Before that though, we got our fishing rods, but soon realised that fishing encounters aren't even randomised, so we'll just use them as extra encounters. Anyways, we learned that someone had 2 fossils in the cave, but they were being held captive. We were given these Rhyhorns to help get over the rocks, and there's only one thing that came to my mind. Anyways, I got Nidorino on this route, as my encounter in the cave was actually a Sizzlebeard. We then found out that Team Flare behind this, a new evil team. Serena came to help us, but honestly, I just didn't even need the help. She wasn't helpful. I then just drew a fossil, it wouldn't matter. When we got back to the lab, we revived our fossils, and we money traded them, and I ended up getting a Cherum, which, to be honest, I'll never use. We quickly headed off to the next town, where we'd get our new encounters, and I started by getting a Frostas, and because the fishing wouldn't work, we got 2 encounters here. Not before my Bellsprout actually evolved into a Weeping Bell, and I gave it a Leaf Stone straight away, and it evolved into a Victory Bell. I then made some changes to my team, and got a Dreepy as my second encounter, but it killed my Pineapple, because of the infestation and it got a lucky flinch on Astonish. Like, come on. I at least did catch the Dreepy though. It was now time for the gym battle, and the master trainer I am, I left my grass type Rooty in against an ice type.
You're a donut! You're so stupid!
At least thanks to John Cena, I won the battle easy from there. I finally had a new route where I caught a Cacnea, and I then evolved my Ghastly all the way into a Haunter, and I did a Trade Wilson so I could get a Gengar. Now you guys might be wondering, where's Bye Bye? It wasn't in the gym battle, so where could it be?
Take care, Butterfree! Good luck, buddy!
Yeah, maybe it wasn't the smartest to get a Cold Week Pokemon into the gym. We chased down this Team Flare grunt, and he ran into this corner where he disappeared. There was just a rock, and it was definitely just a rock.
Coincidence? I think not!
We then met up with the Shallow City gym leader and her Lucarios, and she went to battle us, which of course I won easily. I then went and caught a Skarmory in the next route, and then Sycamore checked in on us how our journey was going. Well, I've killed at least 5 Pokemon. So yeah, it's going great. I then got Minchino in the cave, and then met with Tiano, who gave us Flash, so we could see easier in dark areas. We then finally made it out of the cave into the next city, which was Shallow City. I then got an Eviolite from this professor, which helps our defense stats of our not fully evolved Pokemon. We then got onto the next route, and I definitely got this Red Drago as my encounter. 100%. On overall though, I got myself a Monferno, which I was super happy with. I then got myself stuck in a tree. I got my bike up there somehow, and Wilson just watched me, and I got myself more stuck somehow. After getting out of the tree, I caught a Noivern. We then went in this massive tower. We met Karina and her grandfather. He ended up telling us how Mega Evolution works and why it happens. We then battled Serena in a very close battle where I almost lost a few Pokemon, but I did get away without losing anyone luckily. It's now time for the gym though, and after working around all these skaters and on the rails, we made it to Karina. And honestly, Frost Slash just swept the gym. Having a Ghost type with Fairy type moves is just unfair in this gym. It was really easy. I was immune to the fighting moves and I was super effective against them. With that, now we have our 3rd gym badge. We then headed up the massive tower all the way to the top. We would fight Karina again in a Mega Evolution battle. Like I said at the start, these aren't randomized, so when we got there, we got the Lucario and the Lucaronite, and we had to battle her. This could have gone either way, but it didn't matter if we actually lost the battle, because it wasn't going to be on our team. We then did a random Pokemon generator to decide on Megas. Hi guys, Hawk here. Want to see the amazing Mega Evolution Pokemon I got? It's fine though. I bet Wilson won't get anything good either. How is this fair? He gets a dragon, and I get a camel with a stove on top? Great. Guess while Wilson gets to ride his dragon around, I guess I'll ride my camel. We then got an HM for Surf, and our 3 Lapras, so this meant that we'd do another random generator. As we knew, get Pokemon weren't randomized. Please just give me something good. Yes, finally, some luck. Thank you, thank you. Can't wait for Wilson to get absolutely nothing now. Okay, I still got that Pokemon. Mark my words. This right here will be with me till the end. I then finally got my Registrago encounter, but I failed it as I almost lost my entire team trying to catch it. I then made some changes to my team to make it stronger, and then met up with Sigma at the training session with Diantha. I was ready to win against her there and then. You know, I just didn't feel like it. Anyways, we finally got quick balls so that we could catch stuff easier, and I straight away went and caught a Pillar One in the next route. I also then beat Serena outside the next gym, and I made our way into the gym, ready to battle the gym leader for our 4th gym badge. Once again, it was very easy. I had a Kieran with Ice Beam, and it was super effective. This gym was no challenge at all, but this means now we do have 4 gym badges. I then got a call from the Lysander guy again, and he said something about he wanted a beautiful world or something, and it was filthy. Anyways, I then found this Team Flare grunt who almost killed my Perish. It lived on 2 HP. I then found this key where I discovered a Team Flare secret hideout. Anyways, after fighting a few grunts, we made our way to what I assume was the commanders of the area. And basically my Mega Camel, he just sort of stepped on their Pokemon, and yeah, it was just easy. The Professor's assistants were then doing a cosplay as heroes, telling us that Lumia City finally had the power back so that we could go challenge the gym. This was awesome to hear. But before we made it back to the city, we met this man who said something about a flower Pokemon. So I told him that I had one on my PC, but he wasn't too happy, so he just ended up leaving. We then met back up with Shauna, who was trying to play tag with us, so I just ran away. I didn't want to be caught. We then saw the gym leader and his sister setting the gym back up, and we had to do a Who's That Pokemon challenge. So I wonder, who's that Pokemon?
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu!
It's Clefairy!
Anyways, once I made it to the top, I finally battled Clement, the gym leader, and I won with no real big problems. It was quite easy with my team and the type matchups. This is our 5th gym badge. Sycamore then told us that Lysander was the one who made the Holocaster, but to be honest, I was more interested in jumping around. Anyways, it was time for another battle with Serena, where I barely escaped without losing anyone. Somehow, it was so close to me losing so many Pokemon. I then got Claydol as my next encounter on the route. And then I was somehow tricked into going to this haunted house. Me and Wilson were just like, what are we even doing here? But we didn't stay for long. We just sort of left. Anyways, in the next town, I got myself a Gengar, which means I can finally Mega Evolve my Gengar. This will be really helpful in the future. In the next gym, though, I was so lost on where I was actually going. It took me about 5 minutes to figure out where I could go and how the teleports worked and how to get to the gym leader before I had to finally go back and heal.
I'm confused. I'm confused right now, G.
After finally making it there, though, I can see why she needed the teleporters, because the fight was really easy, and I can see she was just trying to avoid battles. Anyways, that's now Gym 6 for us. We then got word of Team Flare, the Pokeball Factory. So we headed up there with the gang, only to have Tiano ditch on us. We wanted to see the problem, but he just sort of ran away. I'm pretty sure Shauna and Trevor also followed him. This place was just confusing though on the conveyor belts. I was just going along and back, along and back. Anyways, we finally made it up to Team Flare where we saw they were up to no good and we had to stop them. Until Wilson ended up stopping me. He tricked me into this area where there was apparently 3 Pokeballs, but I had no way to get back out because all my Pokemon were too small. So I was just stuck here. So, this is the end of the Nuzlocke. I'll see you guys later. Bye! Only joking, guys. I wouldn't leave you like that. I then made it to these Team Flare grunts and said that they wanted me to join Team Flare for 5 million Pokedollars. If only I had that 5 million Pokedollars, I could have joined. So, because I told them I didn't actually have the money, I had to destroy them in a Pokemon battle. Serena then came and helped out after I'd already beaten one of them, and I can't believe I was actually ready to join Team Flare. They suck. Like, how do you lose over and over again? I then received a Master Ball from the Pokeball Factory director for freeing him. Then told the gang what Team Flare are actually up to after they all ran away and left the work to Wilson, Serena, and myself. Wilson and I then continued, and I ended up catching a Taylor on the next route. Then Lysander gave me a call. He was telling me how Mega Evolution has some hidden energy and only happens in Mega Evolution. Like, yeah, we already know this. This guy's so far behind on what's actually happening. We then had Sycamore and his sister meet us to the next town where he once again asked me about how my journey was going. Well, I've tried to join an evil team now, but I couldn't actually afford to join them. Wilson and I got word that Team Flare was stirring up trouble in this mountain as well. I ended up catching a Spiritomb in the mountain, and Spiritomb will definitely be added to my team if I lose either of my ghost types. We then met Trevor, who was showing us Team Flare annoying this Abomasnow, and how they were trying to extract energy from it or something. Anyways, I beat them with these, and oh, the Abomasword gave me a Mega Stone. I get it now, that's why they cared about you. We then got these Mammoth ones, which helped us get through the thick snow and get into the next town. Once there, we found Serena, and she wanted a rival battle. I was so ready, I had to jump into Straft Wilson did. But her Absol was really strong, and I was in a tough situation where I didn't quite know what to do. So I ended up losing Volcano. And not only that, I lost John Cena, and I also lost Perish. Half my team gone in one battle. Thanks to Spectral, I was just about able to do it, but that's half my team gone. I had to get 3 new members in though. I got Infernape, Feraligatr, and Claydol. These are 3 strong members, but the gym battles were really difficult when in there. I almost lost so many Pokemon with these. I ended up finally getting to the gym leader, and she was actually easier to fight than her trainers. Anyways, that's Gym 7 for me now. We're almost there with the gym badges. I then found Lysander saying something about the ultimate weapon and how he needs to make the world not ugly anymore. And who I had to do it with was this guy here. Like, what is he doing? Then made it into the cafe, and I ended up losing my Feraligatr. Finally made it up to Lysander though, and I beat him in a battle. But apparently that wasn't enough, so he just ran away, and I had to go find him in this Team Flare base. When in here though, I was getting a bit confused of where to go. I finally made it to the 2 grunts we found in the Pokeball factory before. And of course, we know they wanted to battle. But I'm way too strong for them, and I beat them both with ease once again. After the battle though, I end up fighting this grunt who killed my Claydol because of a Scraft using payback after I used a quad effective Dazzling Gleam and was unable to kill it. Then found another grunt leader, and I was able to win quite easily thanks to Infernape. After this though, she gave us a lift key, and we headed off to find Lysander. Anyways, with the loss of Claydol, we had to add a new Pokemon, so I ended up adding Spiritomb to the team. After finally finding Lysander as well, we found that he had this old man who was outside Lumio City, and he had him captured. This man apparently created the ultimate weapon, and his name was AZ. What happened with it is he had his Float and it died. He had to save it. He didn't want to let it die, so he created the ultimate weapon so he could bring it back to life. But it also took the lives away from other Pokemon, and he wasn't happy about it, and neither was Float, so his Float left him. After this, Lysander ran off, and we had to go find him. We did find him with another grunt leader, and we had to beat him in a battle. After beating him, he gave us a choice to pick a button which would either turn off the ultimate weapon or start it. And I pushed the wrong one, and it started the ultimate weapon. This was bad. We were not ready for what was about to happen. The ultimate weapon fired up, and we had to go stop it ASAP. Finally saw what the ultimate weapon looked like, and we knew exactly where to go. Went to the rock, which was definitely just a rock.
What? Nah, I never knew that.
And then we found Serena, and she was going to help us get inside. Headed inside, and we had to fight Lysander once again. And after beating him again, he told us that we had to go down to the basement to find what was actually the ultimate weapon. We then went through loads of grunts with Serena and beat him easily. Shauna then joined us and helped us get into the final room. She turned on the machine and opened the door for us, and there stood the legendary Pokemon. We fought these Team Flare grunts and we defeated them easily, and after that we decided we wanted to wake up the dormant legendary Pokemon. And we could not believe that the Pokemon that was controlling the ultimate weapon, life and death of Pokemon, was Yveltal. Once Yveltal had woken, we entered a battle with it straight away, and without using my Master Ball, I managed to capture Yveltal. Lysander then found us down here, and he had some sort of contraption on him. Didn't know what it was, but we knew this time it would be the final battle with Lysander. He's claiming Yveltal was his, but we would not stand for it. Jumped into a battle with him, and here we go. We started off quite well, but then came out as Gyarados, and I knew this thing was gonna Mega. This was scary because it would turn to a Dark type. We switched into Skarmory, as I knew it had spikes, so I could set it up on the team. I avoided the Earthquake, but the Aqua Tail hit really hard. I switched to Ducky, but unfortunately he died to an Outrage. I then got Spiritomb out there, and he lived one Outrage. I got lucky with the missed Aqua Tail, but it wasn't enough. Spiritomb also went down. Finally able to finish off with Gengar. Then a Honchkrow came out. I wanted to go to Infernape, had to hope close combat would be enough, but it wasn't. Honchkrow also killed Infernape. Half my team is gone again. I had to replace them soon enough. I did end up winning the final battle though, beating as Pyro, and Lysander was finished. That now the ultimate weapon was stopped, and Lysander went down with a sinking ship. We end up getting out and seeing the gang, make sure everyone was okay. We also finished off by seeing AZ, making sure he got out okay. From this point though, we had our legendary spins and I got Raikou, and Wilson got Blacephalon because the Yveltal wasn't randomized. I jumped around on my dog for a bit, and now it's time for us to head out and make our new team. So this is the team I ended up going with, and it wasn't the best, but it would do for now. I then got a few more encounters and named the rest of my team. It was now time to fight Sycamore, which I won with no problems at all after being his blastless at the end. We weren't done there though, as I had to have a fight against Shauna, where it was scary at a time, but we managed to win, and I had to fight Tierno and Trevor back to back afterwards. I ended up winning both battles though, with no casualties. As we get into next time, I straight away headed to the gym and wanted to challenge the gym lead to get my 8th gym badge. However, this bout I ended up losing Ted to an Avalugg. However, I did end up winning, and with that win, we can now go ahead and challenge the Pokemon League as a gym guide told us. I added Pangoro to my team and headed towards Victor Road. Once in Victor Road though, I wasn't impressed with the Pokemon in there, so I just ran around until I got an encounter, which ended up being Wigglytuff. I then had to have a fight against Serena on Victor Road one more time before the Elite Four, and I ended up winning the battle, still with a full team. This was really good. However, once I made it to the Pokemon Center outside the Pokemon League, it was time for some changes to my team. I ended up swapping Cinccino out for Dragapult, and I also taught everyone a few new moves, and I felt this was the team I was ready to beat the Pokemon League with. As I made my way to the Pokemon League, I thought of all the Pokemon I'd lost along the way, what these Pokemon have done on my team, and how we're going to become the champions. As I entered the Pokemon League, I knew I wanted to challenge first. First, I would challenge Wilkstrom with his Steel-type team. I made a mistake straight away though, and I lost Pangoro because of it, as I didn't know Klefki would be quicker than it, and it one-shot me Dazzling Gleam. I then got myself in a tough spot, as Ice Edge was out, but his Aegislash had just come out after I had ended his Probopass, and it knew Iron Head. I knew Ice Edge wasn't going to live it, but I needed him for the last battle. I switched to Spectral, hoping that Aegislash wasn't strong enough to one-shot it, but unfortunately, Spectral went down and I lost my Mega Evolution. It wasn't done there though, as Aegislash then also took out Steel of the Skarmory, which meant I had 3 Mons left. The last 3 Elite Four members and 1 champion. I took on Malva next, and with a lot more ease, I won the battle and still had Strike, Ice Edge, and Yar. Next up though was Drasna and her dragons, and I only had 1 Mon that could take them all on, and that was Ice Edge, and he managed to take down Drowsma with no issues at all. Final Elite Four member though was Seabold and his Water-type Pokemon. I let out a Strike, and he managed to use 4 Thunderbolts. 1 for Clawitzer, 1 for Gyarados, 1 for Barbaracle, and 1 for Starmie. It went perfectly. 4 Thunderbolts, 4 Pokemon, all gone down. And with that, it left us one thing to do, and that was to defeat Diantha. As I approached Diantha, she was there waiting for us, and I was ready to become the champion. After an exchange of words, it was now our time. Our time to win and become the champion. I led with Strike as she led Hawlucha. It took down the Hawlucha with ease and then came in the Tyrantrum, so I ended up switching to Yar, but with a Head Smash, it took a lot of damage. However, because of the Head Smash recall, Dragonite was able to take down the Tyrantrum, which led into Gourgeist. Gourgeist knew Shadow Sneak, and Yar ended up dying. I was able to switch into Ice Edge and use Ice Beam to take it down. Then came in the Gardevoir. This is where no matter what I had to take a risk. I stayed in with Ice Edge to hopefully do enough damage with a one-shot, however it wasn't enough, but neither was Gardevoir's Moonblast. As long as there was no speed tie, I could easily take down the Gardevoir, which there wasn't, and Gardevoir fell. I then switched into Strike on the Aurorus as I knew Ice Edge would have died instantly otherwise. So Strike ended up taking a Blizzard, but then a worse happened. As I used Thunderbolt, it set up a light screen, which meant any special attacking moves did less damage, like Thunderbolt. I still took down the Aurorus, but then was her last Pokemon, Goodra, and with a special defensive bulk, Goodra was almost impossible to kill with the light screen up. I stood little chance to win. Strike ended up going down, and then came in Ice Edge. Mark my words, This right here will be with me to the end. I remember back to the moment and I had to hope for a crit as Dragon Pulse kills and it's 100% accuracy. But the Goodra didn't even use Dragon Pulse. It went for a Fire Blast. I don't know why. It must just saw the kill on everything. And it missed, and on the next turn, the light screen even fell, which meant one more Ice Beam from Ice Edge would win the battle. And it took down the Goodra, and it meant we became the champions of Kalos. After the fight, we went up and took our place among the champions, and even had a final ceremony to finish it off to cement us becoming the champion. At the ceremony, we had our rivals there, and then AZ came up, wanting to see our true power. So with Ice Edge, I took down his entire team, and he then accepted what he had done with the ultimate weapon. And after 3,000 years, his Floette finally returned to him. What a way to end off this Nuzlocke. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot. And I guess I'll have to see you guys in the next one.